Bam. Spoonie, we're live on the internet. How does that make you feel?
I'm so excited.
You're not excited.
I
You're not
am.
even talking
I'm
in the
always
microphone.
excited. I got new arm parts. Like I'm a cyborg now.
Did we figure out if those are petty parts in that arm?
No, we have not, and I can't get the information. But I'll ask the doctor when I go tomorrow.
Ask him.
I'll be like, because I requested shot putter. They got like have strong arms, throw those big ass steel balls, or you know,
Steel balls.
yeah, somebody swings a sledgehammer. Somebody very strong, and they didn't. I don't know that I got that. I was just.
I swung a sledgehammer. Anyways, this is the real estate state of the union. What's going on in the real estate world, Spoonie? I feel like we're a little nervous. You're peeking at your phone. You know it's rude. I'm gonna take my phone.
Here, I'm gonna put mine right here.
Oh my gosh, that's good. I'm gonna put it face down over here.
We got 9 viewers.
Yeah,
Wow,
what's
that's
up,
a record.
9 people? Talk to us in the comment section. What do you think the state of real estate is right now? How are you feeling about it? Are you optimistic? Are you pessimistic? What's going on? Talk into the microphone this time.
Was that half a breath?
That was.
Okay. I'm super optimistic. I know what I missed out in, in 2008 and 9. I was scared to do anything, and I see more opportunities come around the corner. Obviously, there's some pain right now as we're all having to change and kind of redo our businesses.
I'm not on that 5-year plan. I'm on that my kids got to eat next month plan, and fucking real estate's in the toilet, and it sucks, and I'm sad about it. And I'm living life with regret that in 2017, 2018, that I didn't go hard in the paint. 2019 kind of woke up, but really only 2020 and 2021 as real estate investors did I take advantage of what the marketplace was. I listened too much back then to the people that were predicting right now that had never gone through it. They were fucking all idiots that were just guessing, and they changed my belief system. Even though back then I knew that if I bought something and I bought it right, I would always be able to rent it out and make money. I knew that then. I just didn't buy enough and rent it out to make money. So now here we are in a marketplace where you're in teams. Are you shocked at how little showings we're getting?
Yeah, it's ugly.
They didn't hear that because you didn't talk into the microphone and you whispered.
It's very ugly out there.
Dang, Spoon.
I'm going to start doing the Joe Biden thing where I yell a lot, listen, and then start whispering.
That's good.
Really get their attention.
What I mean, I'm not you just closed on some land. You've got it. I did the math on it. Apparently I did it wrong because you're listing that one for 30,000 higher because it has that little barn on it.
It's got the barn, it's got the entry, it's got that cool ass deck, and all the other posts are there for the rest of the
yeah, it's got a lot going on.
Yeah.
But that property you closed on it for 320. Okay. What's the total sticker price on it for what you got it listed in the smaller tracks right now?
132 times 5. I don't know that off the top of my head. Plus 30. I can't do the math.
132 times 5, so 500.
Let's see, 132 times 5 plus 30, 690.
690. You bought it for what?
320.
And you got it. So you're trying to sell it for 690.
Mm-hmm.
You think you're going to be able to do it?
Yeah.
Why?
Because the comps that I called locally when I was driving around Sunday, while we were out there hanging signs, we're starting at 16K an acre, and we're starting at 12K an acre.
Spoonie, that's fucking beast mode, John. Spoonie,
and we're offering owner financing.
What's it like being rich?
The day I'm going to call and tell you one day. I'm going to be like, I had $1 million in the bank today, Corey.
No, I didn't ask about $1 million. I said, what's it like being rich? I don't
know yet.
About your $1 million.
I don't know yet. Sunday, I was out there with the busted arm hanging signs.
Why though?
Because you got to.
Why do you got to? You're whispering. I'm not
whispering. This is my NPR voice.
Spoonie's embarrassed. He don't want to talk with his throat.
There's a lot of things I don't like doing with my throat.
Is it sore from something?
It is not. There's been a lot of things sore. My pride and possibly I'm just been confused ever since our ride yesterday. Like with the ride back from lunch. There's been a lot of things going on.
What happened on the ride back from lunch?
I don't remember, but it was traumatic. Like, I don't remember most of the ride back from lunch.
I don't know what happened on the ride. I really don't remember.
Oh, I'll have to think about it. It was a really weird ride back from a meeting with our
Guys, if you're watching
counselor.
this anywhere else but YouTube, please go watch on YouTube. Throw some comments in the comment section. Let us know what you think about this. Spoonie just bought some land. He's basically rich as fuck now. The reason why he knows he can buy that is because before this deal funded, at least funded for us, we already had bandit signs on the ground. We bought 1,000 bandit signs on Friday. We're writing them out. We're using our CRM to do auto text response to the people that call in. So people call in to find out more information about a property. The system automatically starts talking to them about it. And we are owner financing all of the planet right now. Why are we doing the owner finance right now, Spoonie? He feels like it's a trick question. He's like, God,
I do, but I'm also giving half a second before I answer anything, which is really like 7 seconds in my brain because I have to count that off.
Awkward pause.
It is awkward. We're having to change modes right now. We're not getting the same offers we were, just like we're offering, we're giving, that gives more people that wouldn't have the opportunity to buy something, the opportunity to buy it. But also we're offering concessions and other things automatically now with our properties to try to get them moved.
Yeah, we are. But that's a different subject. The real reason we're doing this is because we need active income. So basically you've got your rentals. They kind of self-sustain themselves, and they'll spit you out money every once in a while, maybe once a year, maybe twice a year. Maybe, you know what I mean? But for all intents and purposes, they really just sustain themselves.
That is correct.
If you start living off that rental income, you're not going to be able to maintain the property properly until they've gone a full cycle. So in other words, we bought something in 2015, rented it out for $800 a month. That rent is now $1,500 a month.
You got good cash flow.
We've got good cash flow on that. We got low debt on that property. You can not put as much back for future repairs. But the ones that you have that, haven't had gone through that full cycle of rent raises, they're probably just stocking a reserve account for future repairs. And if you don't run your business that way, we will be buying your properties from you, subject to when you don't have the cash reserve to operate them.
Yeah. All you got to do is talk to the people that we buy properties from, especially these older landlords and stuff. One year they're like, I'm going to save some money. I need to get some more meds so they don't fix a roof. Next year that roof's leaking and it's done damage to the floors.
Then
and all this stacks up, and then we get to buy it for pennies on the dollar because it's tore up.
Yeah, because the only option they have is to lower rent because of the condition. So they cannot raise rent because they cannot properly maintain the property. So they're lowering rent. They're getting a worse tenant. They're getting a more destructive tenant. And they end up in a bad situation. But long story short, we're owner financing so we can get active income. The down payment, what's left over of the down payment, is active income. It allows Spoon to buy groceries for his family. It allows Spoon to pay a little mortgage payment. It's what we live and feed our families on, is the active income from transacting real estate. Another reason why we're owner financing is because those buyers are still in the marketplace.
Absolutely.
They do not have the interest rate objections that the retail buyers do. As a matter of fact, retail buyers have seen like a 4 or 5% increase on rates. I think now we're doing 10.5, maybe close to 11%, but still not, because the way we structure our notes, we originate a note for a small amount of money. When we originate that note, we then introduce it to the marketplace at about a 13% yield. They're selling at about a 13% yield. That's where the market is on notes. Do you know what that means, Spoon?
No, tell me.
It means that if you were to place $100,000 in a note, that the PI, the principal and interest on that mortgage, would pay you a 13% return. So
you'd make $13,000 on the whole note, or $13,000 a year?
$13,000 a year. $13,000 a year. The note. So
where else could you? People are just love. It still blows my mind. People, my mom, whoever, I'll use her as an example. She's like, man, I'm going to get 2% on this CD over here at this bank.
Try it.
You can grow your money at 12% a year.
Yeah, being a hard money lender or investing in mortgage notes. The problem with a mortgage note is it's a depreciating
It's
asset.
true.
So a mortgage note, if you park $100,000 there, let's say you park $100,000 there, you may have bought a note. Face value of the note might be worth 115 or 120. So you pay $100,000 for a note that's worth 115 or 120 on the face value. Okay. Your goal is that they refinance or sell, okay, before that principal gets paid down and goes below your principal. That's how I look at it. I've never talked to a note investor. I don't know if that's what they're trying to do. I think some of these guys buy at 80 cents on the dollar and get a big enough pool that they get, $3, $4, $5 million worth of notes, pulled together, and then they sell them for 90 cents on the dollar. It cash flows the entire time for them that it takes them to pull them together. So they get a few months worth of payments and they get them pulled together. And then they sell them to a larger investor for 90 cents on the dollar. They hit a little 10% return on their money. Then they're back out there on the marketplace, beating up guys like us trying to buy our notes. Some people are doing it, getting 13% yield. I told Jacob, I was like, we need to underwrite all of our stuff and see where we do, if we can't sell it for a 16 or 17% yield. In other words, if we can't give an end investor a 16 or 17% return on their money, right, with how we're originating our paper. So we buy a property for 30, we originate a note, and we can sell that property we sell that underlying lien for 30,000. So we get all of our money back to our investor, right?
Mhm.
Whoever loaned us the 30 for it. And then the end buyer of that is going to get a 16, 17% yield. That is our bottom number when we're originating this paper. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So if it can't throw somebody a 16% return, we got to lower our buying price on that real estate. That's just
That makes sense.
case in point. We underwrote yours. We broke it all the way down to the bottom yesterday. You were asking me some questions, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, Spoon, you got to give me more numbers. You can't just hit me with a question like that with no variables. I need variables." So once you gave me the PI on that, your cost basis on those lots are $64,000 each. That would be a 26% ROI. 26% ROI. If you were to originate some real bottom bitch paper. In other words, you sold that property at an extreme discount, originated some real low number paper, and then sold that paper for $64,000, it would give the end buyer a 26% ROI.
Right. And looking at it from the note investor side, as you said, the bottom bitch note there, they're getting to take, if the buyer of the land didn't perform, the note buyer is getting to take, the note investor is getting to take that land back at an extreme discount and recycle that and make money twice.
Yeah, and that's what I don't understand. There are certain note investors that strategies are pulling the notes together and selling them to a larger investor. There's those guys. So those guys really care about the borrower. They want a borrower that can perform. So they're going to be really critical of the borrower's credit, of their down payment, of their commitment to the property, on the amount of time that it's seasoned. You know what I mean? On how long it's actually seasoned. They're going to want a season note. So they're going to be really critical of the borrower. That's one note investor. Another note investor is an equity note investor. So in other words, they're going to come in, they're going to look at the mortgage, what hasn't been paid off, and they're going to look at the value of the land, right? So the paper might only be worth 100,000, or face value of the paper might be 100,000, but the land might be worth 300,000. They're wanting that buyer to default, right? So they don't care as much about getting a discount on the note as they do the value of the collateral. They only care about the value of the collateral. So they're going to be more critical of the collateral. They're going to be more critical of the value of the collateral. They're going to underwrite that really hard. So their underwriting is going to be more on the collateral versus the borrower. They're going to hope that the borrower defaults.
When COVID first started and everybody was spending all their time on Clubhouse, there was a couple ladies that I listened to that were just note investors, a bunch, and they had a play where all they did was go after properties that were in default already. They were looking for the ones that were in default, and they were constantly scanning the MLS to see that, how originating house note, that the original note was $200,000, that they're buying for 20 or 30 cents on the dollar, but stuff in that neighborhood is now selling for $500,000. They were targeting those and just making that educated dice roll every time.
Maybe that's a non-performing note. Non-performing notes. There's a huge segment of investors out there that do buy non-performing notes. I'm talking about selling a performing note. We've sold non-performing notes. They actually did really well for us. It's crazy that people bought them. I was shocked at how many people bought them, because it was just, to me, it's garbage paper. You know what I mean? It was like, the only reason we even listed them is because we didn't have time to go foreclose and go through the foreclosure process. We're like, let's just throw them on paper stack as a non-performing note and see what somebody will give. We would have sold them for $1 just to not have to go through the headache of foreclosing on that. And people bid them up, way overpaid for them, in my opinion. And now they got a house in Coleman, Texas, and all they did was owner finance it again. So they went and originated, they foreclosed, they got the property, and they originated some good paper.
Right.
And they hit a lick. What you're talking about is they're selling them, in a hot market. The problem with being a non-performing note investor in a hot market like that is that person can always sell. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you buy the note, you buy a non-performing note, you still got to get a discount on it because that person can sell. And next thing you know, you're getting a payoff request and you just paid face value for a non-performing note because it had a bunch of equity. And you're just going to have to give the payoff of the face value of the note and, maybe some fees and stuff. But where's the ROI come from?
Right.
There is none. You didn't grow your money at all. Matter of fact, by the time you pay wiring fees and everything else, you might have lost money. So
just the not having your money churning somewhere else loses you money.
Yeah, opportunity cost is in there. But so note investing, very, very, very interesting. But, originating that paper and selling it is a huge, huge investment strategy for us right now in this current economy. What's the other thing we're doing? What do we think about Walnut Springs? What are we doing in Walnut Springs?
And we're fixing up the ones that aren't selling and rent them, refine.
So
and when I say fix up, make them rentable.
Yeah, well, that Walnut Springs is working out nice.
It looks badass. The dude's done a great job. He's just taken 3 years.
Yeah, he's a slow guy, but so everything now, the hotel model of buying it and listing it on MLS and hoping an investor comes and buys it is really, really kind of dead. It's just not there.
Especially in small towns.
What do you mean?
I mean, it seems like
talk a little closer to there you go.
Let me just move this to where it's comfy.
Yeah, comfy. Yeah.
It seems like it died hard for us in the small towns that we work in.
Which small town?
All of them.
No, give me a specific example.
Okay, like Walnut Springs.
Walnut Springs, we sold the absolute shittiest house I've ever sold.
Yeah. It's not there anymore.
It's not there anymore. They're building a deal. So that, you're 50% right. I think the buyers are still there. I think it's unreasonable to have that expectation to look for them.
What about Lois?
Lois was a super nice house, I thought.
It is a super nice house.
So
it just didn't move at the price we thought it would, and we would never thought that would have been an issue in that neighborhood.
Yeah, but that's not a hotel. That wasn't a hotel.
Okay.
I mean, it was a nice house. Since the market's turned, I don't think we've introduced a bunch of hotels. I think all of our stuff that was currently listed, like Maxwell being probably the biggest example. Definitely a small town. We own 2% of Maxwell, by the way. How does that feel, Spoon, to be that rich that you own 2% of a town?
I mean, that's almost like being crypto rich. Like you can brag about it on the internet. I own 2% of a town. We should have bought that one down here. The one that was just strip clubs and where's that whole town that went up for sale? It's over in Texas somewhere.
Spoon, it was bought by a billionaire.
I know.
So what?
It's Mark Cuban bought it, right?
When you say something like we should have bought that,
yeah,
are you thinking about just because?
No, I'm just trying to be funny.
It didn't work because I'm like, I hate Angus, Texas.
Yeah,
it's a sewer plant and an old strip club, and a dildo store that went out of business. If a dildo store can't make it, What the fuck
I
can?
feel like so here's something. So me and you both remember when you'd see like the Triple X buildings on the side of the road, right?
I still go to them.
There's still there's still a few of them. I just wonder how they stay in business because there's never any cars in front of them.
No, I'm there.
Yeah, but who's actually buying there besides you?
I buy my hand jobs and my
Like you're just
my DVDs there.
you're just in there. You're the only patron. You just run from room to room.
I'm just in there looking at the covers, like, wow, that's crazy. I didn't know
You're
stuff
like,
like.
I miss Blockbuster, so I'll just come here instead.
No, they got all the good stuff in there.
Yeah,
Like I don't know, man. They see back in the day the Triple X
on that ass.
what?
That was me
That
saying
popped in
something.
way too late. But
That,
Oh, that's good.
zoom
That's,
in on that ass.
that's solid. That's a solid soundbite. But no, that might be an opportunity in real estate. Go buy all the porn stores. You know what I mean? Do you think they come with the inventory?
I don't want to touch it if it's there.
Why
Can I
y'all-
wear nitrile gloves like old Braxton?
Why are y'all
Have you
afraid to
heard the
touch
term
the?
Jack Shack?
Yeah.
Of course.
I love that term.
Yeah, I've jacked in a Jack Shack.
Stick it up your ass.
Is that Jeff?
No,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like that might be an opportunity. Like, maybe
When we
maybe
gonna turn them into banks, daycares? Like, what do you turn one of those into?
it would be awesome to turn one into a daycare. There's a daycare shortage, so you might be onto something. You take because they've all got fabulous amount of cars that drive by them every day.
They do because they're all on a major highway,
Every single one of them are on a major highway.
and they always have giant parking lots because all the semis used to park there.
Yes, all got giant
Dude.
parking lots.
You know what's gonna be hilarious? Is somehow after 2 or 3 people watch this, somebody else will make a joke about it here or there, and we're gonna see all these wholesalers pimping these Triple X shacks.
The Triple X shacks, the Triple X shack to daycare,
might be the place.
niche market. Like, how did Corey make his billions? Well, he bought all the Triple X shacks up and down interstate and turned them into daycares and long-term care memory facilities.
I can't imagine anything worse than Corey Thompson's daycare,
Nursing home.
Yeah,
daycare and nursing home.
like every now and then the guy that's suffering from dementia like gets a real lucid moment. And he's like, I think I used to buy porn here.
Oh wow!
And he's like, nah, Dad, no, you never did. You never did. That wasn't what was happening in this building. You just take your meds and
They're all like weirdly shaped buildings too. They're all like,
squares.
yeah, like it's got like a high roof or some weird shit. You know, it's always got Triple X across the roof.
It does. It does.
Have
They
you never
got-
noticed that they all got like the weird like A-frame
What-
kind of vibe? Like
You got to think they were. You want to talk about prejudice? Those buildings, like, there's a lot of angry people when those went up. You know what I mean? They had to kind of try to be
do you
discreet.
think that was a higher level of anger? And I didn't take my half second there, so I apologize. Do you think it was a higher level of anger than when, you know, the new strip club moved in at the edge of town?
I've never seen a new strip club move in.
You really?
No.
Oh man, when they put one up in between El Paso and Cruces, and it was everybody's like, oh, that's gonna be a strip club. Like it's been there a while now. That was 10, 15 years ago.
I've actually never experienced that in my life, Spoon.
Can
you
we
know,
show? I'm gonna show the people what it looks like when they're on Facebook for us, so they can go to YouTube because
yeah,
this
show
is
'em.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
What's
go to
happening
YouTube.
on? What's
All
happening?
right, y'all. This
It's just
I'm
thumbs
all
up.
red faced like an alcoholic.
Yeah, he has a ruddy complexion.
that's
Whoa.
well.
We went to Infinity.
yeah,
Infinity.
But look over here. We don't know who you are, so go to YouTube.
I'm
Yeah,
assuming
go to
that's
YouTube
Paul
so we
Rudder.
can talk to you. Yeah, they're tagging people though. They're tagging people.
Yeah.
Facebook users. Those are
Ariana
people that are commenting in groups.
Villanueva.
So if
But
you're in
like
a Facebook
someone
group-
was mind blown by the Jack Shack combo, and we don't know who.
Really?
yeah,
They've never heard of a Jack Shack.
or participated.
If you need to hear stories about personal experience, you can talk to Corey Thompson about his glory hole moments.
I mean, look, there's not many holes I won't go in. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, what's on the other side of this wall?
He is
It's a mystery. I will get in there though. We'll find out together. Oh, alligator! It's not good. It's not
snapping
good.
turtle. Jesus.
I don't know what's in there.
Like I said, it feels like a casting couch.
So, anyways, all right, Spoonie. So I disagree that we should have bought Angus, even though it's now we know we have an exit that we can make them long-term memory care facilities and daycares.
I feel like you just hit the lotto there. Like long-term memory care facilities / daycare in every Jack Shack in Texas. I think we could pick them all up for $100K total.
Probably.
For all of them together.
Probably. It's like, but people.
And they're in the middle of nowhere, where if you get a client in that middle of nowhere that's halfway between Midland and El Paso at the one Jack Shack out there,
it's like
they're not going anywhere. You don't have any competition.
It's like the Kubota dealership in Star, Texas.
Never been there.
It's amazing. Star, Texas is 7 people in a Kubota dealership.
Isn't it like Terlingua, where they have like the Prada store out there and stuff like that? It's just like one Marfa.
But that's a whole different story.
Why is that? Seriously, I don't know. It just seems like a weird place to have like a fancy purse place.
Guy went down to Marfa and made it an art destination. One rich dude. There was a bunch of artists hanging out there when he got there. And so he said, you know what? We're going to make this a place where people from New York come down and hang out. And so they started doing art. The Prada store is one of the pieces of art that somebody did at some point in time. Marfa is actually known for the Marfa lights. If you've never been, you should go.
What are those?
It's those lights that pop up out there. There's a place on, I think it's Highway 90.
How exactly are those made?
They don't know. The University of Texas went out and did a big study on it. They couldn't figure it out. Some people think it's reflections. Some people think it's headlights from Highway 67.
Ball lightning.
Some people think that, but like supposedly these lights were seen in the 1600s when they first got to that part of Texas.
It could be the souls of people that died in Jack Shacks.
Could be. So anyways, it's pretty wild that they that Marfa, but Marfa's a cool town. It's the only town I've ever been in that's got less than 4,000 people. Me and Emery stayed for a couple of days. It's got a 5-star hotel, 5-star restaurant, 4 or 5 stories just sticking up in the middle of town. It's crazy when you go inside of it. It's like you're in downtown Dallas or New York or something.
Someone said, well, first off, someone's asking for the YouTube link. I put it in there, but also just Google Roughneck 2, the letter 2 real estate, and it'll pop up. Someone also, Mark Rice, having a flashback of the R2R retreat.
Oh man, we need to do a retreat again. We need to invite our peeps back out. We need to turn them all into landlords. But back to the real estate. I think right now the market is dead on arrival. If you're a flipper, you need to be thinking about becoming a landlord, doing a refinance. If you are in the hotel model, you need to go fix that property and get it back on the market. We got out of that. We didn't. Spoon's like, oh, the hotel model shut down, but we didn't. I mean, we just sold Apache for $42,000, and that was a hotel.
Fair enough.
It was a 150 property, so it's selling for 42 is like. You think it was 150?
No.
What do you think it was?
In fixed up?
Yeah.
I think it had done 120 fixed up. That trailer, that lot. It's right across from the RV lots. Like I think it had done.
But what do the RV lots look like?
Depends on how far you go back.
But right there on the road, they don't look that bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad. There's one guy that owns a ton of them right there.
I mean, Indian Harbor's been built out with all brick homes.
Yeah, I didn't know this till after we started investing there. My grandparents owned one of those RV lots at one point. My dad took me over there. He's like, see that pole? I put that pole up right there.
That's good. But anyways, we sold this. Spoon says it's 120. I say it's 150. And we sold it for 42, and we listed it for 45. It was our only offer. I mean, it probably got 20 showings. Got a lot of showings.
It did because I mean, anything in that neighborhood for that price is going to get a lot of showings.
Yeah, and we got another one under contract for 20 in there right now, so we kind of know where the bottom is. We bought one for 5 that probably not going to do so well on because it appears that the lady had sold it on a contract for deed, and the guy legit had all his mom's paperwork, so he's suing her.
He's not. He is not. The update is he never went through with any of that. He does not have any of that paperwork. Is what it looked like from our counselor. So that is being reinitiated now.
The eviction?
Yes, it's been reinitiated through the eviction person we use.
Well, I mean that's good. Because we have not had any luck filing claims on our title insurance. That's absolutely fucking useless.
I told Jacob the other day, I think we should start our own title company.
We really should start our own title
And
company.
because we've broken 2 now, completely broken them.
Yeah, I feel bad. We're gonna try out multiple title companies now, but either way, hotel model has kind of disappeared. Or we just closed on 5 acres of land with a 4-bed, 3-bath house. If you're not in Roughnecks Real Estate, the group, you can go get in the group and find that video of us doing a walk around at it. Looks unbelievable on the outside. Get inside of it, it ain't got no flooring. Also just closed on another property on Lake Granbury. Spoon and me argued about buying that, kind of.
Yeah, but like when I argue with Corey, it's relative because I am always the pessimist when it comes to pricing a property.
I'm just like,
And-
it's on the lake. We got jet skis. Let's buy it.
Yeah, well, I think it's more from my cowardice on not taking down the property on the other side. Personally, the one I didn't keep, and because I didn't have the guts to, and they flipped it and made like $300,000.
They did
And I would have kept that forever. It would have been an Airbnb until me and my wife retired, and we'd had 1,000 foot of lakefront there.
And I tried to talk him into it.
He did not. But I didn't have the money to do it at the time. I believed that in my head, and I was wrong. I could have gotten that done.
What?
Yeah, I was being a bitch.
Spoon, I was like, you should buy this right now. You should own this forever.
He did not say that.
You just got to pay this price that we're going to sell it for. And you were like, I don't want to pay that. I want a discount. And I'm like, well, we're going to sell it to these people that are going to pay more money for it. Then they went. So that thing, what did it sell for?
750.
Did it sell for 750? It did not sell for 750.
Yeah, it was over 700. I'm pretty sure.
We bought a property. You're telling me
260. That's what we
No.
paid for it. 260 or 250.
no, it was not. That's what we sold it for. We bought it for 160.
Oh, maybe I'm confused. Maybe I was looking at the neighbors.
We bought it for 160.
What's even crazier is that neighbor's house. He had that mansion listed next door for 550. I think it was badass.
Yeah, you don't. But do you really want to talk about this one, Spoony? Because this one's a little soft spot in my heart for you. He's like, let me check my time.
No, the agents are calling me.
Fuck Chris Lowe. Hold on. So, anyways, got a little soft spot in my heart. So, Spoony, this is back whenever Spoony was involved in our daily marketing. Okay, heavily involved in our daily marketing. I would send the text messages. So I had little Biggie Bigs. He would sit right here in my arm. He'd sit right here, and I would click the text messages. I would click them through, clickety, 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 click, and then I would file them away. And then Spoon's job was to follow up with them and see if he could lock them up and lock them down. And this person comes in with their price. 160 was their price on that property. And he tried to offer 110. I think he hit him in the mouth with 110. Pretty good counter punch there. But they're like, no, we're at 160, and that's it. And so I would click on Saturdays, and then Spoon would do all the follow up and chase them down and all that. And then I would go in and look over Spoon's shoulder when I was bored. I'm like, let me see what's going on in there. Now we were locked indoors in COVID during this time. Remember that, Spoony?
Yeah.
And I was like, so I looked at one and I'm like, well, let me pull it up. Let me just look. So there was one over there on Lake Alvarado that was for 110 that you had left on red. You just like, nope, can't do that one. And the other one was this one that they wanted 160 on. And when I was pulling through the comps on them, I realized that property for 160 was on the lake. Spoon thought it was not on the lake. And he was correct. If it wasn't on the lake, it wasn't going to be a deal. But on the lake, it was a fucking deal.
But like just the lack of foresight that I had there, all of it. So what Corey's getting to is he had to remind me to go lock that property up.
I did not remind him.
And by remind, he's like, hey, motherfucker, if you want to make money,
I was like,
you might want to go sign this right now.
Right now, you get your little contract, you get in that little car of yours, and you drive over there and you beg them to sign it.
So I did. And I could have got a free bull mastiff with that one. I probably should have kept that dog.
Yeah, that was so weird.
They left all their cats for us, just baby cats, just all over the back porch.
That before video is on Roughnecks Real Estate
For sure.
It's on because me and Biggins, he's a little baby, and Emery went to it.
Well, that's where the neighbor creeped out your daughter, like scared the hell out of her.
Scared the hell out of
He
her.
is a creepy neighbor.
Very creepy. So yeah,
He may have been the reason we lost that agent.
It might have been the reason. I watched him though. We rented the dump trailers from him. Did I ever tell you the story that he ripped his
Yeah,
tailgate off?
You told me, just destroyed it. But he was trying to impress our
He was
agent.
trying to impress this agent. He whips in there in his dually. He unhooks from a dump trailer, doesn't let his tailgate down. He's bullshitting with the agent trying to hit on her. Doesn't let his tailgate down, jacks up his dump trailer and drives off and yanks his tailgate off with me sitting there watching like, what the fuck did homie just do?
And when I say like creepy dude,
He's creepy.
he was like, I picked my agent because of how hot she looks on her sign. And we know who it is. It was the
He is hot.
yeah, well, there's a pair.
A set of twins
yeah.
out in Granbury. You should look them up. Google what house slaying bitches or twins. Something.
Anyways, that was his
twin-
his whole qualification. He's like, they're super hot on the sign. I just hired him. And I'm like, his wife is like there. I'm like,
oh yeah.
What
it was
what are you
weird.
doing, bro? Like, your wife is right there. This is a weird move. Like, you know, like
Emery come running to where I was in the house. And then I'm like, no, you got to go back to your brother. And she was trying to tell me there was a dude there and couldn't even get it out. And I ran into him.
Like
Boom.
this-
And I was like, who are you? And why are you in this house? And he's like, I live next door. And I'm like, all right, bro. Well, you scared the fuck out of my daughter. And that was before I knew all this. But once I learned all this, once I saw his interaction with our agent, I was like, what a fucking weirdo.
Things got weirder because I had to pull well, you know, I could just owner finance this out to the first person that could give me $12 with that dude to get him, because he was talking to every person that showed up.
Hit the gold nugget coming, cha-ching on the way.
That's, you know, I pulled it the other day. I can't remember who it was. I'm like, well, I could just owner finance this to a dude that wants to start a car shop in your yard
Every time.
Nobody wants 74 rust buckets. And that lot, like, this is what I regret about it most. What do I regret about it most?
I don't know.
It's that half mile of houses there was one of the few places in that town that's not in an HOA on the water. That house was not in an HOA. I super regret that. You could have had fucking pigs in your backyard there, and they couldn't say shit about it.
That's amazing. So Spoon's gold nugget there is when you got a pesky neighbor. So pesky neighbors kind of operate like this. They come in and they want to buy it, and they could have bought it at a deeper discount than you bought it for.
He'd love to tell me that.
They will tell you that over and over again. So they're like, oh, I could have already bought this. Would you pay for it? Oh, I paid 30. Oh, I could have got it for 16, or something stupid. And so that's their first, they're flexing on you. They're like, okay. And you're like, okay, no problem, bro. And then after they try to buy it from you, even though they could have bought it from them, they try to buy it from you for what you paid for it. They're like, look, I don't really want to do it, but I'll give you what you got in it. Which tells me they didn't know the neighbor wanted to sell. They do have the means to buy it, but they don't want to buy it.
Or the neighbor hated them.
Or the neighbor hated them and wouldn't sell to them, more likely.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened on that deal.
Yeah. And I would have hated, well, after I was in that house, both neighbors, I understand why they hate each other.
Right.
So anyways, now they want to do business with you. Okay. But they don't want to do business at a price that you could sell it for. And you can give them a deal. You can only make 10 grand on the deal, but they got to pay closing costs. They got to do this. They got to do that. But they're not willing to do any of that nonsense. They're unwilling to do any of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so now, since they're unwilling, every single time the house shows, they show up and talk to the people and tell them exactly what you paid for it, exactly what you did to it, and exactly what the previous owners did to it. They're like, did you know that they were smoking meth in the closet? Yeah, go to that guest bedroom closet. You'll see the meth pipe drawn on the wall or whatever it is. And they will harass every single buyer you get. So what Spoonie is saying, the way that you knock them off of that is you say, hey, I'd appreciate it if you'd quit harassing the people that are trying to buy this property from me, because the only option you're going to leave me with is owner financing this. And the only people that are going to owner finance it are going to be meth dealers and
I think
assholes. And
I think I pulled the Airbnb on him because there was no HOA. I said, I'll tell you what, bro, I will turn this into an Airbnb and make this a fucking party castle. I will advertise it as that. It will just be 20-year-olds destroying your life. But if you keep butting into this transaction, and he literally butted in with the people that bought it from us, who were lying about their own shit. There's a lot of liars in this business, but I regret not keeping that one. The fact they sold it for $750 is it was
crazy.
over 700.
That's
And,
crazy.
and they did a nice flip, but there was 1,000 foot of lakefront on there. I did not have the guts to
There was.
do what I should have done.
It was nice. You get a jet ski in there. I bet I would like to see it right now. I'd like to see how much water's there now. Lake's down. I'd like
Yeah,
to see
but
how
it
much
wouldn't
water's
matter. It's 40 foot from, or I don't know. It's not 40 foot. It's
It-
a half mile on the water from
Jason,
the.
If you got a 7-foot cove in front of your house and the lake's down 7 foot,
I get it,
you don't have any
but
water.
it wouldn't matter for me, is what I'm saying. Like
Oh,
I it wouldn't matter for what I wanted to do. That
What
thing,
do you want to do?
I would have Airbnb'd it till it paid itself off, and then I would have turned it into my weekend home for me and my family.
Your weekend home?
Yeah.
Now, all right. So I got a weekend trailer house on Lake Granbury.
Yeah,
Me and Biggin's gonna be there this weekend.
do it.
I'm gonna get a suntan on this belly. You coming?
You maybe you know right around the corner is where that hooker was at that tried to. She ran out to my car, and the dude waved her off and said, "Hey, that's not the right car," and she ran back inside the trailer. So
Look, all right,
she
that's
might
fine.
be there.
You can invite her if you want. I'm just telling you, me and my kids are gonna be there. I'm gonna get a suntan on this belly. Are you gonna bring your family to the new Dead 8 Lake House?
Probably not,
You know how
because you know why I know? Because we have soccer on Saturday,
I know? Mm-mm.
Mhm.
That's
and what do we do on Sunday?
now from the time soccer ends until church starts?
Mhm.
Me and you, suntans on the bellies.
We've done that. There's pictures on the internet of me and you hanging out, laying belly to belly on a boat by ourselves, just together.
That is
And
true.
if y'all can't find them, I'll give you the pictures of me and Corey just
Put them
shirtless.
on your Insta, Big Spoon _ real estate.
I got to get a better Insta name, huh?
I don't know, but put them on your Insta right now.
Hey,
That-
let's give some love to Alma Flores. She says y'all are her heroes.
Thank
okay.
you, Alma. We love you, Alma. She's doing big trailer parks down in down South Texas.
She's got so much stuff going on. Her both of her kids are doing great. Like her son's running the whole construction side of that business. They're
Damn.
amazing family.
Damn. Well, you're not going to come hang out with me at our new lake house.
Bro, I have 4 kids.
And all
4
four of
kids.
them love the lake.
You don't know that. Maybe one's allergic to it. They do love Stumpies though, and that's not close, but
Close enough. A lot closer on water. You know,
it would be that. That's the truth.
You could rent a pontoon boat for us all.
Oh, you know what? I've been trying to get we might do that. We might do
You
that.
just
'cause
roll up there and pick us up.
But I want one of the big ones. They got ones
Hey.
with things that extend out on the front now. And
I'm gonna let you know a secret, Spinny.
Yeah.
I got a pontoon boat. I'll bring it if you drive
are you
it.
talking about Brandon's?
Probably.
Probably. Or is it just whatever you pick up at the marina?
I don't know. Do they got zebra mussels in Granbury yet? Because we got to wash, drain, and dry our boat before we can swap them around. So no, that I feel like
I know you rent them right there, Stumpies, for sure.
Well, yeah, we bought this place for $140.
God, I'm a fucking idiot.
Wow.
I like to live in those ones that I just fuck up real bad. And we made money on that deal, but I should have kept that one. I'll regret that one for a long time
Why?
because I would have loved to have had a place there when I retired on the lake.
You would? Yeah.
Like it's okay. Like I love to kind of what do you call that? Marinate in some of those losses like that because it makes you not do that again.
That made me do anything. I mean, at the time we bought that thing for $160. I think we sold it for $280 or $290,
Right.
and we hit a banger. I mean, it was like 60.
Right. It was our second
six-
biggest deal that year.
Yeah, it was like
Don't-
67 grand. I was like,
Rockwood was the only one above that, right?
Yeah, I feel so good about that one.
Or vice versa. And right now, that was right before the market. Just
No, it was during it was already like that thing was blowing up.
yeah. I mean, they just lit the fires up. Like
Yeah,
they just turned on the engines.
The
Like,
rocket fuel was there. I mean, we were in there, bro. We were in there. Some
a good
people
time.
sat that out. Some people sat that out. We didn't sit that one out. Right now, we're rearranging everything. We're going to turn all of our private money because the whole time is going to be longer, and we don't know how long it could be. Right? How long you think we're going to be in this mess? You think it's going to be a year, 2 years?
I don't have a crystal ball. In 4, 5 years.
I don't know how long it's going to be, but the opportunities are going to be there. Right now, you get to look at more inventory than you ever get to look at. Wholesalers daisies. We're getting more emails, getting more DMs, getting more nonsense. You can look and pick through inventory like you have never. The buying opportunities are here. Anybody who says they're not is wrong. There are buying opportunities out there.
On the MLS.
On the MLS. You can get them anywhere you want them, anyhow you want them, anywhere, anyhow. You know what's not there?
Buyers.
The buyers, they're not there. You know what else ain't there?
The deals?
Deals
No,
are there.
I mean the deals are there. I'm just trying to
The
think about
money.
that. Yeah, that too. Especially for the deals we were doing.
Dude, people are like legit private money, people that have been with us a long time are getting a little antsy. The noise in the marketplace is winning, and the election is going to be a kind of like a bump in the road. Don't know. It creates more uncertainty.
Well, I don't think it solves any problems.
It doesn't.
If the Republicans win everything, you still got a hot mess, lame duck presidency, and nothing happens.
I don't think
anything happens if you keep everybody in place right now. I think we just got 2 more years of pain.
I actually think if the Democrats keep their ability to spend money, they will throw some money at this problem. I do think they would. I think the Republicans, if they do take over, I think they do everything under their power to make it as painful as possible, so they can blame a Democrat president to get him out of office. Which, I mean, that's the game. You got to play it. So,
but I think it's like I almost wish the Republicans wouldn't win anything, because then you don't have anybody to really blame it on. It's just people pointing back and forth.
I don't know about that. That's a weird stance there. But if all I'm saying is if Republicans win, it could create a dead cat bounce in the real estate market, where people get a little bit more optimistic, but then realize ain't shit gonna change, and then it goes back to nonsense. So I mean, that's just the election is going to create more uncertainty
for sure.
If Democrats did hold power, I do think they would try to spend their way out of this, which I don't know what kind of effect that would have. I do think eventually somebody's going to put pressure on the Fed to lower interest rates. I don't think they're going to let us sit around in this funk very long. And then the big wild card is anything that happens overseas, any war, any nonsense could just make it even weirder. So it could get weird. Knowing that it could get weird, I'm looking at a 5-year hold. I'm looking at turning our entire business, all of our private money, swapping it over to equity and saying, hey, look, come enjoy the benefits of what this opportunity is going to create. Because if you have the ability to buy, you have the skill set to operate, and by operate, I mean rent out, maintain the properties, qualify tenants, do make readies, just operate real estate in general. If you have a property management company, who do you know that has a property management company?
I know a group called GBT Investments.
Has a property management company.
They manage all my properties because I don't want to do it.
Set up, ready to operate real estate. We have Roughneck Renovations out there ready to go to work on real estate. We have
OAI Construction.
Who owns that, Spoonie?
This guy.
Oh, we have all of that set up ready to operate real estate. Can you install a septic for me if I need a septic installed?
I can. And the electrical is getting official today.
So
next day.
Master electrician sitting right by me. That
very
is
soon. As soon as I can get paperwork done.
That's crazy.
But not yet.
That's crazy. So we can operate real estate.
All of it.
So
I literally, you know how hard it is to find septic people right now? Somebody was cold calling my phone and cold texting me yesterday off the state website trying to get me to come do a deal up here for them.
We're going to go do it?
Absolutely. No, we can't do this one.
We got to do it. We got to do our original 3.
Yep.
But
I got those laid out. We just got to go knock them out.
We're going to go knock out 3 septics. I'm ready. I'm going to be the equipment operator. I'm going to operate the equipment. I'm going to call DJ 30 names.
I'm going to call him dirty names for a lot of reasons. I went and looked at my trailer this morning, and it's really funny. It's really.
Let's stay off. We'll get in DJ's ass here in a second. But long-term hold, being able to operate real estate, being able to build real estate, build houses, remodel houses, and rent them out, owner finance them, sell the notes. Everything we do in our core business right now, we're going to do, and we're going to give up 90% of it. We're going to give 90% of it to the investors. We're going to hold on to 10% of it, and we're going to ride this thing out. And build out a $5 million fund out of the people that we already do business with. This isn't like open to the public. I mean, if we've already done business, we can do that. But anyways, we're going to ride this thing out. We're going to see what it looks like.
So it's funny you say this. I'm not going to say the person's name because I don't want to give his financials on the deal.
Who?
But no, I'm not going to say that. But it's an investor we both know. Super nice guy. I was talking to him. He got started in 2008, 2009, and I think he has 56 doors right now, cash flowing 650 a piece on average. Because he did what you talked about earlier. He just bought it and rode the rental appreciation up.
I know that guy.
And
I've solved the puzzle.
yeah,
Jason, I would like to solve the puzzle.
go ahead.
Chad.
Nope.
God
Chad's
damn it.
probably up there. Chad's in that same boat.
right, keep
I've
going.
never asked him, but both of those two people, like almost they own 50% of this property and it's still getting paid off by somebody else, and now they're cash flowing $650 a month on 56 properties. You do that math, his life problems are over.
Yeah.
At least in like he's out of the rat race.
Well, we did the numbers on Cleburne yesterday. You know, we're going over our rental portfolio in our Monday meeting, and we're looking at this property that we could not flip in Cleburne.
Could not flip.
It wouldn't sell, so we put a
It
tenant.
is
in
an
place.
ugly house.
It's ugly, but it's in a 300 neighborhood now.
It is.
I mean, we bought that thing for what, 80? It's a 300 neighborhood. We have the equity to go in there and put a remodel on it and sell it in a different market. Probably not this market, but springtime we could get rid of that thing if we want. But we also have a 5-year prepayment penalty and a 6% interest rate locked in for 30 years. That deal right there, that very deal, the PITI on that deal is $890 a month. The rent in that neighborhood, we're going to rent it for $1,650 a month. That's a $700 a month cash flow created out of thin air by a recent mistake on a property that we bought that we thought we could wholesale, that we couldn't wholesale. So we ended up having to hold it a little longer.
And that's like, so it's really funny, right? People talk about all the time, oh, I want to get some of that mailbox money. That mailbox money. I love that. And I'm like, there's no such thing. Like there's not, because unless you have the people that have mailbox money are the ones that have ridden out this cycle and they have that rental appreciation income. But if you got brand new rentals, like a lot of mine, there's just not a lot of money left over if I want to service my capital expenditures for the year.
Yeah. Well, and everything gets better at scale.
Sure.
I mean, as we scale up past, it's probably, everything gets better with scale.
And to circle that back though, the thing we're talking about with the properties, I know what I'm going to do with these notes, but after I sell 3 of those notes and pay back my original loan, I have the option to keep those 2 last notes and just have $3,000 a month income coming in for the rest of my life. Well, maybe not the rest of my life, 20, 30 years.
But I don't even think, I think you're going to end up selling. I think you're going to sell some for cash and pay off that mortgage.
Oh, I agree. I think once it's somebody, he just texted me. They're trying to talk to buyer wanted to talk to the RMLO today.
Yeah. So we already got one sold.
Right. Like once those sell, my point is I still have the opportunity to keep some notes on that. There's going to be cash. It doesn't matter. What is it?
No, keep going.
Is my thing squeaking?
No, I'm just looking. Keep going.
What do you?
Keep going.
You don't like my
I distracted, so I just threw him off.
Yeah, I don't remember what I was saying now. I'm like a goldfish. I just lap the bowl.
Yeah, well, I can't bring you back to it because what I was going to say is you've already got one of those sold.
Yep.
Already got one of those sold. Where did that lead come from?
Bandit signs.
You're whispering.
It's the I'm trying to get this Joe Biden thing down where I talk real loud and then I get in here.
Damn it.
It's bandit signs. Come on, man. Bandit signs.
You sound like Joe Dirt.
I probably do. You got whisker do's and whisker don'ts. Come on, man. You just got snakes.
You went for Joe Biden and you ended up on Joe Dirt.
I'll take that though. That's an iconic character.
Well, anyways, the funniest part about this is everybody's always so reactionary. So they wait till last minute until it's too far gone to salvage. It's the same thing we see, and this is the lessons that I apply. You go buy a house from somebody, you find out a little bit about what's going on. I don't take on all their problems, but they're going to tell them to you anyways. And I try not to replicate their mistakes. So I try not to wait too long to get myself out of a situation. I realized 2 months ago when showings quit happening that we were in a different marketplace, and we shifted immediately to rehabbing everything and renting it out. Rehabbing everything. Right now, every one of our properties, if it's rent ready, if it's already been rehabbed, has a for rent sign in the yard
and a for sale sign
in the yard. And the first person to show up with the money wins the prize.
Absolutely. And option 3, owner finance, is always there too.
Well, owner finance is in the listing. I mean, it's offered on
owner
MLS.
carry first.
Yeah, with it. So The other thing that we're doing now, because we don't like being reactionary, is we went and bought 1,000 bandit signs. We're writing out for rent bandit signs. We're writing out owner finance bandit signs. We're slamming them. All of those callbacks go into a CRM. So they're instantly into a CRM, and they are now talking to everyone else. So we're not leaving it up to our agents and calling our agents and being like, hey, how many leads do you have on this? Every call that comes in off of a bandit sign goes to an agent, but it comes into our CRM first. And then there is a girl sitting right now that used to only do lead gen for us. She's sitting in Oklahoma. Ashley, if you're watching, we love you.
She's amazing.
She is sitting there right now, texting them back, calling them back. And then the agents within our own social media for our company, Microsoft Teams, both Braxton is trained to take pictures every single morning of every lead that comes in and throw them underneath the individual property. So Spoon can see it. I can see it. Jacob can see it. Anybody in the company can see we had a lead there and some things were said, and that's the number to contact them back. So now all of that is in the Teams. So I can go in and be nosy and see what's going on without having to log into our CRM. Okay. Because the CRM is harder to operate from a phone, way harder. But then I can get on the phone and tell somebody, hey, Spoon, you might need to call this one right here. I think you could do good with it, because it seems like, there's something being lost in translation that Ashley doesn't understand what they're talking about. You know what I mean? So you can probably get on the phone and close it, or Chris doesn't understand what they're talking about. I think you could get on the phone and do this, or Spoon can see it and say, hey, Corey, I need you to get in on this one, or Jacob can see it and tag one of us in, or the agent is also trained to put in all the Spanish numbers so Braxton can get on the phone. But that happens every single day. And then what happens is we get a little notification on our phone, like I have 20 of right now, right here, that says, hey, so-and-so put this in Teams. And it reminds us all, oh yeah, we're trying to owner finance a cabin in Athens right now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
None of us have paid attention to
that none of us
for
have
a year.
No, we haven't owned it for a year, but the one that's been forgot about over and over again is Orange. And then we had one in Chandler that we owner financed that the guy never closed on, that we had trouble getting out.
And a lot of the stuff we forgot about was because we were in the middle of that hot market cycle and we had so much going on.
Nothing was forgot about. Spoon didn't remember it.
I remembered it's there. I didn't remember to put out signs there.
I remembered it. We talk about it in every meeting.
We do.
We cover over the stalled projects, but that one in Athens is getting bandit signs today. Either way, all irrelevant. He's doing for rent bandit signs in Athens. He's doing owner finance bandit signs in Athens. Palestine's one that we closed. We closed a deal in Palestine for $30,000. He's doing owner finance bandit signs for it right now because it's not rent ready. Orange is getting remodeled. And then after Orange gets remodeled, we will move those guys to Palestine. They will remodel Palestine, and then we will throw a tenant in there. Furman's in Mart right now, working on Mart. We're going to have some fabulous footage coming out on YouTube.
I got him going to Hamilton and Copperell.
So, he's going to two of Spoon's projects. He's pulled them off of. And then
I haven't pulled them off. I just told him fit in weekend. They're small projects.
His cousin's going to do our 5-acre property in Granbury. We have him lined up to do the floors in Waco. We're still waiting on OEI construction to be able to pull the permit for our other property in Waco.
That should be sorted.
So
first next week.
Yeah. So we'll get a permit for it and finish it up. But either way, we have, we've named off probably 10 projects that we have going on right now. And all of them, we're not waiting on any of it. We are slamming bandit signs, forcing revenue into the machine.
I went out and hung the ugliest signs, handwritten signs, lot 1, lot 2, lot 3, lot 4, like on the fence this weekend, while I'm waiting on the fancy little signs that I'm going to have printed up in Cleveland to go.
Really?
Yeah. Because you can't wait. Like, they need to know what they're looking for. And it is painfully obvious what we have for sale there now.
I like it.
It is tied to that fence in the ugliest manner possible with Balin's wine.
I'm going to do bandit signs for rentals in Coleman tonight.
I love it.
I'm driving to Coleman. We're interviewing 2 property managers out there, and I'm going to slam 50 bandit signs for rentals in Coleman.
I am not doing that, but I am going to West Texas tomorrow to do 2 different cities.
What are you doing out there?
Snyder and Big Springs.
What are you doing?
We got 2 1-1s in Big Springs and me and Braxton own 9 units that we're filling up in Snyder, Texas, which,
Hell yeah.
all y'all people shitting on small towns, which I still consider Snyder small town. It's out in the middle of nowhere. It is a decent sized town. It's just
Snyder's not a big town.
but it doesn't matter. We got those for $165,000 out the door. 9 units.
Yeah, that was a no-brainer. Those 9 units plus we've done 2 owner finance. We've owned 2 owner finance. We got 1 owner finance note that we still own, and we did another one and sold the note. So I mean, Snyder is an oil field town. It's a county seat, which is one of my boxes I love to check. If you're investing in multifamily in a county seat and a small town like that, you're not going to have somebody come build next to you. So in other words, they're not going to come build more inventory. So as long as you can get in there at a price where you can maintain your inventory, you will have a tenant forever.
It was really weird too. That deal was really weird because it was like they took they were normally painted and then they painted like weirdly, like bright blue, bright green, bright yellow. They thought that would fix them up, and it did not. It looked like shit.
Who's the they?
Whoever owned it before us.
I think it was the Mexican Americans.
I don't think so, because the Spanish dude across the street has a badass house.
Well, I know, but I think they painted them in the traditional Mexican flag.
But it wasn't like good paint. It was like one layer over where you could still see the gray under it. So it just wasn't a good paint job. But I think that's all it needs after we get them rented. Like our cost our average cost right now for a unit is probably $4,000 to get them fixed up. We've been at $3,500 on most of them. We had one that's $6,000 to get them fixed up. It was pretty rough. But all in all, if we invested $4,000 in all, well, let's see, 8, that's 32. So you'd be at 200,000, 200,000 all in.
4 million.
What do those got to rent out to be a 2% rental?
I don't know. It's $4,000 a month.
$400 a month. Like that's going to be never hard to get.
$4,000 a month total for all of them.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I'm sorry, that'd be $450.
What do you get?
$450 a unit a month.
What are y'all getting?
$695 on
Jesus Christ.
And $750, I think, on a couple of the new ones that we just redid.
Spoon, what's it like being rich?
I'm going to tell you when it happens. I'm going to call you and be like, "Hey, motherfucker, we're both going to buy Rolexes today. No, we're going to flaunt that shit on the internet."
I'm not buying one.
We might sell it right after that, though.
We
may just buy them and then sell them.
You can buy me a Rolex. I will never buy one.
You know what I was going to buy you for? I picked out your Christmas present yesterday. I didn't get it.
Is it something to do with my titties?
No.
God damn.
Yeah, I've never met a guy that spends more time fixing tires on the side of the road or helping people that their car's burning down. It's like a weird set of occurrences.
And I do help a lot of people change tires and put out fires. I almost made this Facebook status the other day and I deleted it. I was driving down the road, I have an Impact.
See what Alma's asking you.
So,
she wants you to put up bandit signs for her while you're down there.
Okay, I might. I used to own that house that y'all trying to own or finance, by the way. So I know all about that. I'm driving down the road. A lady is changing a tire on her car. Okay. Her dude is watching. What'd you think happened next?
He watched you change the tire?
Oh yeah. I stopped.
Yeah. Like I would, I can't even imagine that.
I was like, do you talk shit to this dude?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you let him know? So you know what I did instead?
No.
I just hit on his old lady the whole time.
Oh,
I
like a movie you'd make. Like,
yeah, I just hit on her.
It must be weird not to have a guy in your life that knows how to change a tire.
No, I just flirted with her. I just laid it on. Told her how pretty she was. All that, even though it was not true, but it didn't matter. And then I almost made the Facebook status. Next time I got to stop and change a tire that you're watching your old lady change. She's now my old lady. But I was like, it won't be interpreted right.
No, but I remember the last time I saw that happen, there's a brand new nice mall complex on the south side of El Paso. Me and Megan were over there on a date because they had a fancy pizza place. And there's a dude watching. He had called the truck. Truck rolls up in this parking lot right in front of this restaurant, and he's watching with his girlfriend a dude change his tire. And I'm like, oh man, I did said words. There was no words. Like, did his father fail him? Did his uncles fail him?
I have no
Somebody
idea.
fucking failed that guy,
well, I don't know. I'm not.
bro.
This was just a
Like-
different situation. I was just like, man, this is
Yeah, but this is a
dumb.
whole, like, my daughter's gonna know how to change the tire. You know what I loved about my wife? When I met her, I went over to pick her up one time. She's changing her alternator in her terrible Geo Metro 3-cylinder.
I drove one.
Yeah. So we had to get up to running speed just to get up the pass to get the white sands.
I'm jealous.
But
Yeah,
I think got great gas mileage. It's just you couldn't run the AC while we're going uphill.
mine, the starter went out and I'd push start it with
But
my foot.
I can't imagine kids not having those life skills of any kind
Yeah, they
to change a tire.
Nah, my Emery's gonna be good on that. And
Oh, yeah,
Biggins,
mine too.
Biggins will be never, ever, don't ever watch a woman do something like that.
Bro, I
it's-
have my daughter and my niece. We're out there because I'm all jacked up. They were out there poking holes in the signs and cutting all the twine and getting stuff done. Like,
well, so we're bandit signing. What
No.
else, Spoonie? I'm not near as optimistic. I do think there are going to be opportunities to buy a lot of real estate. I think if you're not, there's that dollar cost average nonsense. Here's the thing about it. Here's the way the interest rate works. So you got a higher interest rate, right? You currently have a higher interest rate, Spoonie? Are you paying a higher interest rate?
yes, I'm confused about Clobby's remark there.
Yeah, and he's a
The-
nurse. He knows.
The tire changer guy. Or-
Yeah.
The
about
dude was
Thompson.
like 16, 17. Like,
Alright.
I don't believe that.
So now I'm completely you just
You asked me
foobarred
about my interest rate.
So interest rates going up, true or false?
Yes,
Okay, who pays for the interest rate rise?
the tenant.
Who else?
I think that's all end user stuff. I don't think we pay for the interest rate rise. We pass that on.
Oh, no, I understand that, but who pays? Who are the two people that are going? Why do rising interest rates not really matter?
Oh, because the seller pays the interest rate too, because they have to drop the price on the
Yes,
sale.
this is the largest equity grab
Absolutely.
that you could ever have on planet Earth is happening right now, and here is why. If you could go equity sniping, equity hunting, equity, you could be an equity baron. You could get any discount you want anywhere you want it, from a wholesaler, from an owner, from a off the MLS. You can grab as much equity as you want, because ultimately, who pays for the higher interest rate? The tenant is going to pay for the higher interest rate, and the IR and the S is going to pay for the higher interest rate. What do you get to do with your interest, Spoonie?
Write it off.
You get to write it off. I think even if you're a homeowner in your regular house, do you get to write off your interest?
If you have a mortgage. Yeah.
Yes. So you're getting the IRS is literally going to let you take it off of your income.
And so they're subsidizing it is because you're an owner, essentially.
I
But
don't care
well,
what
the
that
IRS
means.
isn't. Who's subsidizing that? Everybody else is paying taxes that doesn't own property.
I don't give a shit.
I think that's amazing.
I don't care who's paying for it. I'm just telling you, right now there's a mental barrier. There's all these cutesy things that are out there, these memes and stuff that say, marry the property, date the rate, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're not mentioning the biggest portion of that. The reason why higher interest rates don't really matter to a lot of people is because you get to write it off. You get to take that mortgage deduction, that mortgage interest deduction on your taxes as an investor. And I think you get to do it as a homeowner as well. I'm not sure. I'm not a CPA, but you get to write it off. So really and truly, you should be able to overcome that objection. You should be able to find a buyer in this marketplace. Okay. But the flip side of it is, as an investor, interest rates go up. It's going to drag cash flow down a little bit. You know what I mean? But you will get to write that off. It's a dollar for dollar exchange, really and truly. Whenever you look at it, it's like, yeah, I didn't make that money.
I mean, it's dollar for dollar exchange with earned income. That doesn't translate to dollars paid on taxes, because that only affects you at, like, say 30% of that.
All right. So if I pay $100 a month in interest and extra interest every
Mhm.
single month, right? So I pay $100, then I didn't earn $100 in income. Hold on. I didn't earn $100 in income, correct?
Mhm.
And then I get to take that 100 and write it off against another $100 in income.
Mhm.
True or false?
Okay. I agree.
Okay.
I'm just saying it's not dollar for dollar tax deduction wise. It's the percentage of interest, percentage of taxes you would have paid on that dollar amount. It's what
Ah.
it saves you.
Spoon. A write-off is a write-off.
Yeah, I got that.
So if I get to write off $100 of extra of interest, that's like I earned $100 less.
That is true.
Yes.
So
Now
what
we're
is
in.
that? What does that reduce your tax?
I don't care. I don't care about that. I don't care what my tax rate is and what it reduces my tax. I don't care about any of that. None of that. You're missing you get.
I understand what you're saying.
It affects your income, so you're going to make less money. Okay, and then it wipes out some more income over the top,
Mhm.
and that's it. You're playing the game. You're playing the game. If you're in the game, you're in the game. It should not matter. Like agents should be able to overcome that. Yeah, great. It's like yeah, it's like higher gas prices. Who does a higher gas price affect?
Bye, Alma.
Who does a higher gas price affect?
It affects the bottom tier end user of whatever product that's affected.
They're gonna pass it back through.
Sure.
It's gonna go ripple
Trucking
through the
companies
economy.
passing it on.
Everybody's gonna pass it on
to the Safeway, and the Safeway's
Yes.
passing it on to the.
Yes. So everybody, it just gets passed on through the
Yep.
economy. Okay. Same way with interest rates, it gets passed on through the economy. But with the gas prices, the guy that works a W-2 job goes to the same location every single day, pulls up, he fills up. You know what I mean? He was spending $30 a week. Now he's
Mhm.
spending $60 a week. Okay. How does that affect him?
Well, if he's living a tight existence, that's a big hit.
It could be, but he also doesn't get to deduct it.
Right.
He doesn't get to do any of that. He just whatever. Whenever gas prices go up for you, what do?
I pay for it.
And then what do?
Write it off.
You
'Cause
write it
Because
off.
it's a business. I spent $300 on gas on Sunday.
Whatever amount of money
$300
you
in
spent
fuel.
on fuel, you wrote it off. Who paid for it?
The company.
No.
Oh, you're saying my tenants.
No.
No, I don't understand what you're saying.
The IRS. They bought your fuel that day.
It's a write-off against earned income, which would reduce in the tax bracket I'm in by like 30%. So I would get 100 of that 300 back.
Oh my God, Spoonie.
What?
The way your brain works. You're like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I'm only no. You reduced your income
I get all that.
by the amount that your fuel costs went up.
Right.
That's it. That's all that happened. That's the end
I
of it.
understand all that.
You reduced your income by the amount that
But-
the gas prices went up. And the guy that works a W-2, he did not reduce his income. His income stayed the exact same.
I get that.
He just went in every single day and had to pay more, and he didn't get any benefit from it. You, as a rich motherfucker,
Mhm.
got to write the whole goddamn thing off.
But Jason, you're saying like the benefit is at the end of that
So-
is lowering your tax bracket, perhaps. And
No, he's
So Sohail, this is why my wife believes I have Asperger's because I can't get around the way my brain processes these kind of things.
he's saying the only savings he really said. See, so it's like the scarcity type deal. He's focused on the savings, not the actual.
No, I'm just saying that's the actual effect of it.
The actual effect of it is you got to write off 100% of the price increase against your income.
That's true.
Which lowered your income, which lowered your tax burden.
By a
Right.
third of
yeah,
that
you're
amount.
both right. You're both right.
We are both correct.
Yes.
But the W-2 guy
Doesn't get to do that.
doesn't get to do that. I don't think. Talk to a CPA.
No, I don't get to do that.
Not a CPA. You should double check. But you're 100% right. And I mean, it's so there's so many like I don't know how to explain this. The more businesses we start, the more opportunities I see to not have to be burdened by those same things, right?
That was a fragment of sorts.
I don't know how to explain it. I
Burdened
don't know
by
how to
what
explain
same things?
I don't know how to explain it. Like there's I mean, I'm lucky because I have a background in construction. I grew up in construction.
So you're saying you don't want to have a W-2 job?
I don't want to have a W-2 job ever
Yeah.
again.
Okay.
But I also don't want to have I also want to pay as little taxes as possible. And
Yeah, but you can't.
that's true. Sometimes you got to pay taxes.
No,
my bank informed me of that.
Just go make a bunch of money. Do what you're doing right now. Put back 30-40% into an account for taxes and pay the taxes at the end of the year. The only thing I'm telling you is the mortal problem of having to worry about gas problems left you long ago.
That's true.
The IRS allows you to deduct it. What does it matter what it costs? Just go make fucking more money. Period.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Just go make more money. Don't worry about the mortal problems of gas prices and interest. Just go make more money.
But people don't realize, like, I don't think of the few people watching here or the hundreds or thousands, whatever, that watch later, realize that they can go do this too very easily.
Can you elaborate?
It's not hard to start a business. You have to have a legit reason to do it.
Not hard. Not hard at all. We've been broke for fucking 5 years now. Easiest time of your life ever. You can just go start one. Just take 2 paper clips.
Do you think going broke was the worst thing or best thing that ever happened to you?
I stay broke.
Right. The best day in my life. The best day in my life was that day. I was in that Target and couldn't afford formula for the week.
Yeah.
Because it made me realize how fucking lazy I was being for my family.
Yeah.
Right.
I've never had that problem, but
Well,
keep going.
I'm just saying, like, that's when I went home and put out all them signs. Right.
Yeah.
That's when I made that decision.
Well, see, I don't have to pretend to be poor because I'm like real poor.
What do you mean pretend to be poor?
Yeah,
I was broke then.
Yeah, but I didn't have to do that. Like, I didn't have to do that.
What do you mean you didn't have to do that?
I've always been poor.
So I had a good job before that. So okay.
I didn't have to. You know what I mean?
You didn't
like,
have to go broke.
I mean, I've gone broke a million times in my life, and it's always the exact same. When I was the poorest I ever been in my entire life, at fucking 10 or 12 or however old I was, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're just fucking poor. You don't know you're fucking poor. You just go do what you got to do that day. You don't know the difference between poor and rich. You don't have any good information coming your way. You're watching a little MTV. You know what I mean? Watching, playing a little Sega at the friend's house, whatever you got going on with whoever you can latch onto and go do it with is what you're doing. Luckily for me, men showed up into my life and mentored me on how to work. Period. They didn't mentor me on how to deal drugs. They didn't mentor me on how to fucking rob stores. They didn't mentor me on how to pull a sly one. They mentored me on how to fucking work. So when they mentored me on how to fucking work, then the game changed. All you got to do is you go to work and you get a little bit of money. You get a little bit of money, and then you buy what you want to buy and do what you want to do. And you have a little bit of fun. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then I just took that work and I fucking leveraged it into making an absurd amount of money because I've realized every step along the way, somebody made a little bit more money. And if I could make a little bit more money, I could buy that much better of a boat. And if I had that much better of a boat, I could get that much better of a bitch. And if I had that much better of a bitch, I'd have that much better of a time. You get what I'm saying? So that's how my life spelled out all that time. But I didn't have to fake poor because I was poor. I was broke when I made the most money I ever made in my life, and I was broke when I made the least money I ever made in my life. You get what I'm saying? But the work didn't stop. I never had to question whether or not I had to go do something that day because I always had something to do.
I mean, it seems kind of condescending. Like, it seems like you're, I mean, it appears you're talking down to me.
I'm not.
Because, like, I had a great job. I did have a great job. And I made some choices that landed me in some weird situations.
What was the work ethic the whole time? That's the whole deal. It's the work ethic the whole time.
My work ethic is why I had a great job before that.
Yes, but the work ethic that you had to get that great job, right, is the work ethic of maybe thinking. Maybe it's more thinking than more back. Maybe it's less back, more brain, right?
I don't know about that. Like,
I don't know what the daily job was that you did, but my daily job always included taking these two hands and creating something out of nothing, right? Going and taming dragons, getting them out of the ground so you could drive your car to school. You get what I'm saying? That's what I was doing. When you were in college, I was taming dragons.
Oh man, I really appreciate that.
And I'm not, that's not talking down. I have worked.
What kind of is? I mean,
I've worked my ass off.
I believe
Spoon.
I 100% believe that.
I've worked my ass off from the time that those men taught me how to work. I've worked my ass off at Sonic. I worked my ass off at Brookshire's. I worked my ass off at the electrical company. I worked my ass off in the oil field. And whenever I flunked out and fell into real estate, guess what I did? Just went right back to working my ass off. And the amount of money in the bank never dictated the amount of work that I was going to do that day. Just the amount of work that had to be done that day dictated the amount of work I was going to do that day.
Yeah, I don't think you're. Well, I mean, I think you're making this point in the stand for whatever that didn't have anything to do with what I was really saying.
You said you went broke and it made you realize you need to go to work.
It made me realize what was important in my life. When I can't even imagine. I loved my job working out there at the Army. We worked our asses off, working all over the world, all hours of the day and night. I loved it. And the reason I had that job was because of how I worked, right? Like I was the only guy that would get out there and turn wrenches while all the engineers were sitting there staring at me.
I don't doubt it. And then you got into real estate,
right?
And either didn't know what to do or wasn't doing enough of it, or both.
All of that.
And baby formula reminded you that there was work to be done.
Right. Yeah. So I vapor locked, right? Vapor locked. I didn't know what to do. You don't know what a vapor lock is?
Mm-mm.
In a car. You don't know what a vapor lock is.
I do, but I don't know I don't know how. To me, it's like this. Like, so whenever I was living in the RV, it was uncomfortable, right? So I would, like, you take enough shits in an RV, you don't want to shit in an RV
I've lived
no
in
more.
them before.
Yeah, you take enough shits in an RV, you don't want to shit in an RV no more.
Multiple times.
Right. So
you're
tiny
just little plastic toilets.
Yeah, you're just in there.
Clinky sound. You're always banging your knee on the freaking cabinet.
Whatever. I'm not big like that, so I don't know. But I'm in there with a 2-year-old girl. You know what I mean? Maybe I could fuck off that day.
Right.
But highly unlikely. It's going to be more uncomfortable to fuck off that day than it would be to go, okay, what's going to get me paid today? Or better yet, how could I ethically pay for my lunch with the American Express? What would I have to do for myself to reward myself with lunch on the company card, even though I don't know if that's a legal move? But if I did that and Jacob said, why are you buying Chili's with the American Express? What answer could I give him? I'd be like, bro, I hand wrote 400 letters. I hand wrote 400 letters. That's how I rewarded myself with a little slab of ribs. And Emery got her a grilled cheese. We enjoyed it. It was good. Thank you, Jacob. Get what I'm saying? That's how my mind worked, right? Yeah. Today, I have to do something. I can do nothing.
Right.
I can do nothing. Or I can do something. Now, I know I'm going to have to do something. Nothing is still something.
Right. Well,
so I'm going to do something. What is the something I can do that will get me paid the most?
And that's the key. So two things, right?
Let's pause this. Yesterday, I gave you a project, Investor Lift. How much research did you do on Investor Lift yesterday?
None. And
I told you, even though you didn't prioritize it in your mind, even though it didn't go to the top of your mind, and I told you it didn't go to the top of your mind, but Investor Lift could very well get you paid the fastest if we understood it. And you said, I understand.
I do.
But you didn't prioritize it enough to even though you've got.
No, I went on the website yesterday. It'll get set up today.
I'm not worried about getting it set up. I don't know what it is. Braxton did the research because Braxton heard that conversation that me and you had about it getting us paid next. Braxton went and did the research. So when I called Braxton at 8:40 this morning, first time I talked to him, Braxton laid it out for me exactly what Investor Lift does. It costs $5,800 a year. This is what I see. I was like, can you search like this? Can you do that? I don't really understand the benefit of this. I don't know if we need to pay $5,800 to play with this. I'm going to have a couple more conversations about this particular property that we're trying to move on Investor Lift before we go there. Because to me, it just seems like a clusterfuck of wholesalers trying to move deals on there. I don't know where the real buyers are, right? I thought it was going to plug us into buyers. It looks like it's just a Zillow for investment properties that has 19,000 listings on it in Texas alone right now. Seems kind of cluttered.
So it's like the Super RV website.
Yeah, it just seems kind of cluttered, and it doesn't seem like I thought we were going to get a list of buyers. I don't. It doesn't have as much interest in it. But Braxton did that research, So I got to ask him the questions. I got my curiosity answered that we talked about in the meeting yesterday. For you, though, it didn't rise to that level.
No, I did. I did everything I had to do yesterday.
And you didn't make the time.
Right.
And that is in and of itself. That's just a day that you got that you won't get back. Right. That time passed. And while you had the time to do your research on Investor Lift, could have created the time, you could have skipped out on sleep to do your Investor Lift. You can always give up sleep. You know what I mean? Until you're falling out, you can give up sleep. You can always sacrifice sleep. Don't let anybody lie to you and tell you can't sacrifice sleep. You can always sacrifice sleep to learn a little bit more. Okay. You didn't do it. You didn't prioritize it. Wasn't a priority. That's nothing on you. That's nothing.
Yeah, I get it.
That's just how people are wired. I've never been wired that way. I've never been wired that way. So we did our card on you. We got into card on you. We developed all that this morning, again, way early this morning. I think my first call went out at 7:00 this morning. I'm on the phone with our agents. Only call and talk to 2 of our agents. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I've told y'all that multiple times. I only call and talk to 2 of our agents because they're the 2. I'm coaching them on this. I'm going through follow-ups, right? So I'm going through overcoming the objection. We're waiting on an offer on that Bastrop property. I want that offer on that Bastrop property.
We all do.
So I give Kitty, I'm like, here is how you get that offer out of them. Here's how you get them to say it, right? You're going to call that person back and you're going to say, hey, give me a counter to take back to these guys because neither you nor I get paid until we close this deal, right?
That's correct.
So give me something to take back to them. And if you won't do it for you, do it for me. And if you won't do it for me, do it for my kids. And if you won't do it for my kids, do it for my dogs. And if you won't do it for my dogs, do it for my elderly parents. And if you won't do it for my elderly parents, let's just do it anyways. But let's do something, because if we do nothing, neither you nor I will get paid.
That's correct.
Do you know where that came from?
Card on you.
Fuck. Is it not? It's just fucking reps. I mean, just fucking reps. Now, this all started as me being poor. And I'm on a fucking rant here, and you want to talk about, your wake up calls, right? I understand wake up calls. I have, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, someday they're going to tell me I have like AIDS and cancer or something. I'm like, God damn, less soda pop for me. You know what I mean? Like, I can't, my diabetes is getting the best of me. I'm going to have to go get on this treadmill, right? I will have those wake up calls. But I don't think I'll ever have a wake up call where, it's like, oh, what do I need to do? Because, I arrange my days and I check off the boxes and I find more and more time to do the things I need to do. I now wake up every morning at 5:00 in the morning. Spin. Why do I wake up every morning at 5:00 in the morning?
So you can read Teams, text us, and then go back to sleep.
No, I don't go back to sleep. I mean, you believe I go back to sleep, but I don't go back to sleep. I gotta get my shit out of the way before I can leave the house.
Oh, I can't do that. Mine's at 9:00 every day. Like,
Yeah,
it fires off.
I have to get my shit out of the way before I can leave the house. I wake up at 5 and get my social media out of the way. I get my Teams out of the way. I get my shit out of the way. I get my shower out of the way. Right. But that is my routine. Now I probably need to throw a workout in there. Just for shits and gigs. But I started doing that because I found that that's the quietest time of the day that I can focus on everything because nobody else is awake. I didn't stumble on that. Somebody told me that. And when I heard it, I was like, you know what? 5 is 2 hours earlier than 7. How much can I get done in 2 hours? I get so much done in that 2 hours. You know what else I do in that 2 hours? I build my own day. I say, what balls can I move forward within the company to help it? Who can I remind? What things can I do? What people can I hire? What's on my agenda? So just today, I had to drop Emery. I had to get up, get Emery ready for school. That, I don't wake Emery up till about 7:15, get her ready for school, take her to school, get her dropped off. Okay. I had to go to the property management office, write out all of our bandit signs, get all the bandit signs ready. I didn't write them out. Willie wrote them out. I stabbed the stakes, got them in the truck, come up here to do podcasting all day today. So we'll podcast all day. Once I get done with that, I then have a property in Trenton, Texas. You know where Trenton is?
No.
It's a little bit north of here. Okay. I'm going to go peep that, put a pictures in Teams, do that. And then I'm going to jaunt back down south and get on Interstate 20 and head west and then go do bandit signs in Coleman, Texas tonight. I'm going to do bandit signs in Coleman, Texas tonight. I don't know what time I'll get done. Probably 1 or 2 in the morning will be about the time I get done. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to wake up at 5. I'm going to get my little morning out of the way. And then I'm going to interview 3 people for a position we're hiring for out there. I'm going to get one of those hired. And then I'm going to go to Brownwood, Texas, and I'm going to do bandit signs for Comanche. I'm going to stop at both the Coleman property and the Comanche property. And then I'm going to jaunt back all the way back home in time to get Emery off the school bus. That's my day tonight and tomorrow. Okay. Then I'll plan another jaunt of work. I'll know. I don't know if I'm going to go to Longview yet. I don't know if I'm going to go to Longview or if I'm going to go down to San Antonio. I don't know which route I'm going to take, but that's what my week's looking like. Now, I know that because I know that if we get Longview sold, who gets paid?
All of us.
All of us get paid. I know that Longview is the big, the only one that we don't have any feedback on. It's not getting any showings. People aren't, you know what I mean? I know Longview is a big one, and I know the vet clinic's one that I'm going to have to put some attention on. I've been procrastinating on the vet clinic, but I'm going to end up having to, we got it listed now with an agent, but I'm going to have to solve that riddle of how we get that thing leased. But
I think these guys will work with us. I told them about all the stuff that we wouldn't be willing to bring to the table when we tried to bring to the table with the last group.
Yeah, but they just need to get it leased, man. I
told
know
him
they
that,
want to
he
sell
said,
it.
No, he said that's what they're working on first. They're a leasing office too. Like,
Yeah,
and
I know.
they're closed.
I know. They just need to get it leased. They get it leased, everything else solved. All the other
understand
problems solve itself.
He said that was their priority too.
But either way, Spoonie, I don't mean to, I'm not trying to talk. I'm just telling you, like I'm just built a little different to where as soon as somebody showed me how to work, I knew work was the answer. People accuse me all the time of doing jobs that are below my pay grade, but I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't trade places with them. I would never trade places with them. They to me, what they got is fleeting. What they got, it looks a little unstable. I think a ton of fucking big box wholesalers, mid majors, or not the big box, not New Western them, but they'll lose a lot of employees. But I think a ton of the mid majors are going to be fucking hurting. They just don't have it. They just don't have it. They don't have the sense of urgency. They don't have the financial backing. They took the best market in real estate that ever fucking existed, and they didn't find money. They didn't go find people with money. They didn't find people to ride with through a fucking lull or buy with during an opportunity. All they did was go out there and fucking make some money, buy some cars, and fuck off. You know what I mean? I didn't do that. We met a lot of people with a lot of money, and we learned how to operate real estate. And since we know how to operate real estate, know a lot of people with money, when this opportunity to buy, the better, it's only going to get better for a little while. I don't know when it turns back around, but we're going to take this opportunity to buy, and we're going to buy. I mean, we might go buy $10 million worth of real estate that's worth $20 million in today's market. That might be worth $30 million in tomorrow's market. And we're just going to fucking hit a lick. You know what I mean? The next 5 years, we're just going to fucking bang a lick. And, that's just life. That's what we're going to do, Spoon. And you're part of the we. So I know you're sitting here waiting to tell me
No, I'm good.
I'm not talking down to you. I'm just,
I saw 200 acres yesterday, willing to split up and willing to owner finance. That's what the market's turning.
Who did that?
I found it in my neighborhood.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Bandit sign. Somebody just put it on the corner. They wrote out owner up to 0 to 10 to 200 acres.
So it's probably another investor that already bought it.
Probably.
Yeah, they're just hitting them a little lick.
Yep.
Spoon, that might not be an opportunity for old Spoonie.
I didn't say it was. That don't mean I won't call. I like to know what stuff's selling for.
Yeah, the somebody messaged me about, I can't remember, a couple hundred acres. No, 20. It was a couple thousand acres for $6.5 million.
That seems pretty good.
Yeah, I think it was 2,500
Where
acres.
was it at?
I
mean, like West Texas, like
northeast of here.
Oh, that's not bad.
No,
Like, at least there's grass out there.
I mean, and that other property that we bought, that we're partnering with, actually, we're not partnering. And partners get 50-50. We're getting 25 grand on that deal.
We're not partner 50-50, are we?
No, that's what I said. We're not.
Yeah.
I said we're partnered with, but I wouldn't call it a partnership because partners
we
get
need
paid 50-50.
It's like a strong position lender.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, we get 20. Anyways, they didn't want to list that. I mean, that was crazy
It's
to
listed
me.
now.
It's listed now, but I was like, I was like, give me the agent's name that's going to list this. They're like, no, we don't want to list it. I'm like, you're outside your mind. You're in yesterday's market. You know what I mean? Like you got a 6-month timeline to get that sold. It's going to take all 6 months. It wouldn't matter if you listed that for 300 grand.
Oh, they've already had offers. They just didn't take them.
What were the offers?
I don't know, but I guarantee it was more than
No.
than they bought it for.
Yeah, but they what offers? Nothing. I promise you, there ain't been nothing put in writing.
Maybe this. Yeah, it don't matter to me.
No,
Like,
there ain't been nothing put.
there's
in
very
writing.
little routing on that property.
I don't. No,
I did give the same advice though. Man, if I were you, I'd go get them cows, haul them straight to the sale barn.
No, you can't get those cows.
Yeah, they're wild. They just run around, huh?
Yeah, no, you're not. Smooth. Y'all part-time ranchers.
No,
crack me up.
I'm saying I wouldn't touch them. Like I would.
Go get them.
I don't want anything to do with them.
I know, but go get them. Like, oh yeah, we'll just go out there and get them.
I'm assuming they got pins.
Yeah. There's probably pins on that property. No, there's no fucking pins. Got the hall panels out there. Build you a set of pins. Got to cake break them for a little while. Got to get them used to fucking you driving out there and dropping them some little food off. You know what I mean? If they're even fucking alive, they're living on land in a drought.
This is like, do they have water out there?
Yeah, we don't know if there's water. Damn sure don't know if there's
no hay left.
There's no hay left. I mean, so if you got alive cattle out there right now, they're wild as fuck.
They're eating cedar and
they're wild as fuck. And you're gonna go out there with a fucking set of temporary pins.
I ain't going out there to do it.
No, I'm talking about whoever.
So hey, our new lender from Lubbock the other day was telling me that they had repoed a place like that.
We have a new lumber.
Yep.
Who?
Happy. The guy we're dealing with out of Lubbock. So he was talking to me because he got hurt the same way I did.
Really?
Almost the same. He's like same exact situation,
In
trying
the
to
pins.
cowboy a calf, like he was 20 years old and he didn't get broke as hard as me. But he said they took back a place and they didn't know what to do with all the cows, so they just went down to the auction and was like, "Hey man, if you want these cows, you can go get them."
Mhm.
And the guy goes, "I'll tell you what, I'll give you half of whatever I make." And they said when that guy showed up, he had like a busted ankle. It was all beat to shit and stuff. And he showed up with the check because that's what we do, right? You give your word, you show up with a check. And he's like, it totally wasn't worth that. That guy got his ass beat by all them cows trying to make a few dollars.
Well, I mean, I talked to a bunch of my my rancher friends, and all of them have declined to fuck with them cows.
I know.
All of them, 100% of them have declined to fuck with them cows. I told them, I was like, hey, I think this guy might have some guys, and all of them have turned them down.
We had a longhorn bull one time that was built like a train. He was just all muscle. And he would just walk into a bull gate and just twist it sideways and walk under it. He was always at the neighbor's place knocking up the cows. So my granddad took him down, had a logging chain put in his nose. Somehow he got that out. But you could always hear him breaking through the cedars in the neighbor's place. He would just be back there just breaking trail. And nobody wanted to touch that guy. He ended up going away. Like, I can't imagine having to go do a bunch of those at one time.
Well, it's the time. I mean, like cake breaking them takes, I don't know. I mean, you go out and cake break a bunch of cattle, you're going to have more time in them than the money you could make. Now, if you had pictures of them and they're all fucking healthy, you know what I mean?
8 cows up there. It ain't worth.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking $10 a bag right now, or $11 a bag just for cake.
Yeah, but it's the time.
I get that.
Nobody cares about the $10 for a bag of cake. Like, I got to go do this every day, 200 miles from my house. I'm not going to go do it. But anyways, what do you think, Spoon? We're going to make it through this. I personally, I think the opportunities, I think if you got cash, interest rates are definitely temporary. You could go equity rating right now. You could get as much equity as you want. I think if you're not buying, you're crazy, because you might never get another discount like this. I mean, if tomorrow they stomach all they can of this higher interest rate market and turn the rates around, you're going to miss this opportunity just like you missed the COVID one. You know what I mean? So you need to be in the marketplace. You need to be trying to get some equity. You need to know what it'll rent for, and you need to be buying it where it can rent at probably 8% interest on a 20-year AM loan. Have you got any terms on the happy loan? Have they quoted you any terms?
No.
We closed one on two mobile homes, refi, probably going to be in the 7s on those. We rate locked 5.4 on our 10-unit apartment complex in Wortham. So yeah, that's good, but I don't know what else. I don't know what rates are being shopped right now. I know that we just quoted a 7.99 refi on 30-year money, non-QM. So we do have that. You can go to roughneckrealestate.com, roughneck the number 2 realestate.com, and we can get you some of that 30-year money if it's in a populated area. But I'm underwriting everything community bank. I think at the end of the day, they're going to be the only ones left standing. I think when everybody else gets cold feet, they'll still be there.
Well, I think they have to, because they have to have money turning over too. And they rely on the community.
Yeah, I just
your dude that loans you on whatever cattle trailer or trailer you're buying down there in Grosbeck, whoever that guy is the one that's still going to be lending.
Yeah, they I mean, you're there. I mean, you work with all your community banks. It's just relationship based.
I agree.
They can always do one more for you, even if they're telling you it's going to be the last one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least they're telling you it's going to be the last one.
Yeah.
This will be we'll do this one, but this is the last one. You know what I mean?
Correct.
But at least that was the last one. Where, you know what I mean? A lot of lenders will leave you at the closing table, and that, you know what I mean. Then you'll be like, "What happened?" And we're like, "Oh yeah, we can't do this." You know, and those bigger ones are more susceptible to the stock market and sways and politics and everything else. So, nothing else, Spoonie? I feel like I beat you up on the.
No, I don't think you beat me up. I think you just wanted to talk, so I'm just letting you talk.
Yeah, but I always, I love you, Spoonie. I always love you, but I always listen to your lessons, and I'm like, I've never experienced that.
Well, I mean, you made about a 30-minute point of telling me why you've never had to do that.
Well, but there's also times where you feel bad for somebody. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't ask anybody to feel bad. I never got to what I was trying to get at. But
We'll get to it.
No, it don't matter.
I'm talking about like on a cellar. Like you'll be in there in a cellar and you'll feel bad, and I'll be like, bro, this is way better than what I lived in growing up. I'm like, whenever you're going into a house and you're like, I feel bad for those kids. I'm like, not me, bro.
Mean, the one I felt bad at, I should have called on.
Well, we called on that.
Yeah, I get it. I still regret it. Like that's the one. Like, I think the only other one I felt bad at was like that old lady that we bought from that preacher that sold us that place, where she didn't have running water for months. She's doing her dishes in her bathtub.
And I see it and I'm like,
and she didn't have nowhere to go.
I'm like, that's just Tuesday.
Well, I get this, just Tuesday, but this dude's literally living in a mansion across the river, staring at this house. He had every ability to keep her in
maybe
a place with running water.
Maybe. I don't know what his situation was. What'd you do with her?
We put her in a place that we own and let her stay there for rent for free while she was getting into, we took her to Arizona. She stayed there for free.
She didn't stay there for free.
Yes, she did.
No, she didn't. She paid $485 a month.
Okay. Well, she wasn't paying the electricity. She wasn't paying any of that stuff.
No.
We carried all that cost.
And then we evicted her out of Arizona.
We did not evict her.
Yes, we did.
We kept her for we kept her for a month and a half so she could get into the assisted care facility.
And then
we evicted her kids.
And then her fucking asshole relatives squatted in the house for us and made them a victim.
We did throw them out. But that didn't. I think we went over and above to help her. Is all I'm saying.
I don't know nothing about that. I know that particular property that you're talking about, and this lady, we've had tons of those where you felt bad and told me about it, and I'm like, bro, I've lived in worse. I've ate worse, I've done worse. And you know what? It made me a better human. It made me more resilient. It made me want more out of life. It made me try harder. It made me not take things for granted. You know what I mean? Like, I got those memories. They sneak up right here and remind me, you gonna be poor again tomorrow, son. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna outrun you. But either way, that lady right there, and even right now, the very thing that I'm talking about. See, I don't have animosity towards that lady, but I feel like she put us on the rope-a-dope. I feel like she lied to us the whole time. I feel like she could have done all that sooner. I feel like she was dishonest with us from the jump about it. She never paid us any rent. You know, she was paying that other guy rent. She never paid us any rent. She never told us about the lack of water or any of that. She never told us about
That's
it.
true.
And then whenever we got ready to sell the place and needed her to move on or whatever it was going to be, then all of a sudden all that stuff became an issue. And I was like, we didn't know anything about any of this. And you went and looked at it when she lived there, but she didn't let you in.
Nobody could look in it. We just stuck our head in because it was like wide open COVID at that time.
Yeah, so she wouldn't let you in at the time, and so anyways, all of a sudden all of that became an issue when she had to move into a different place, or her kids were supposed to have her moved out or whatever was going to happen. So I feel like she took advantage of the situation and then tried to make us out to be the bad guys, and we weren't.
I don't think she's trying to make us out to be the bad guy.
She did whatever. Yeah, she didn't want to move out of that place, Spoon. If we wouldn't have let her go to Arizona Trail, she would not have.
That's true, but we need her out to sell it, so we got it sold.
Yeah, but that was the agreement. Like anyways.
It don't matter. I'm probably wrong about this too.
No, you're not.
There's a lesson in there now.
You feel bad for her. I'm like, I wouldn't fight her. You know what I mean? Wouldn't fight her, but I'd let my sister beat her up. You know what I mean? I got animosity. You still feel bad for her. Anyways,
okay, we're in on that.
Keep going, Spoony.
No, it's good.
You want to go do some educational stuff with me in the never-ending wall?
I don't know what that is.
It's that white wall over there.
We're
going to do some educational stuff. Go to the TikToks to get it. We'll see y'all later. Hey, are we still live on TikTok?
I think that phone died. Margot's mad at me because I was supposed to plug it in while doing this. But
Damn, phone